The following episode contains potential spoilers for a published adventure. Are you sure you want to spoil the experience for yourself and your DM?
Welcome to another Legend Lore episode of the It's a Mimic podcast, where you never know what you're going to get. Welcome to another episode of Legend Lore, where we explore and discuss books and media related to tabletop role-playing games. I'm Adam, and with me is Sean, and today we are covering the new starter set for the 2024/2025 rule set called Heroes of the Borderlands.
Cool. Before we get into this product, though, let me ask a couple of questions. Roll initiative.
Well, you went from a 14 to a 4, but I'm still higher than you,
That's
so...
all right.
All right. Go ahead, ask me questions. What do you got?
Question the first. What do you know about this book going into it?
For the first time, I did a little bit of cheating. I am a big fan of Keep on the Borderlands. Sorry, I'm going to just fumble that every time. I never remember if it's from, of, on, or in, right? So, like, we spent the first, 40 episodes calling Tales from the Yawning Portal, Tales of the Yawning Portal.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting every time tweaking going, but it's not Tales about the thing. Why do we keep saying this? So, like, anyway. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the original. It was a lot of fun. If I remember correctly, that's where we got mind flayers and spaceships and laser guns for the very first time in the original Dungeons and Dragons. So
That was that module?
yeah,
Cool.
So,
All right.
Yeah, so I'm all about this, and so I went digging into it to see if they were going to give us that, and they absolutely did not. So they're giving us the Borderlands. They're giving us the Keep. It's not that adventure. This is a starter set. It's meant to guide new players and new DMs, right? So yes, I dug into it a little bit. Have you looked into it at all?
Nothing. I know nothing.
All right, so please don't use that voice for the whole episode. Or I will punch you, and then the audience will applaud. So,
Applause?
Applause.
Applause.
It has been a long-ass week, and it is late on a Friday night. So, anyway, yeah, I know a bunch more than you about this. This will be fun.
Yeah, I don't even really know what the Borderlands, like, even the previous module is really about, although I've heard tale and fable of it.
Yeah.
But I've never actually sat down and played it or even looked at the manual itself.
It's like the Tomb of Horrors, right? Like, it's one of the ones that everybody kind of knows. Like, you know the name Vecna before you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like,
Yeah.
If you know anything about D&D, you probably heard of this. This is kind of a fresh new take on it, right? So
Yeah, it's a bit of a classic. I mean, I know that it exists. I've never actually looked at it.
Sure.
But what do you hope to see in the book?
I hope to get proper DM guidance, because I've seen the other starter sets, and so there were two starter sets for 5th edition up until this point. One of them was The Lost Mine of Phandelver, and that one got retired out. They then released the second one, and then retired out The Lost Mine. Lost Mine might be the best adventure in all of 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
And it got rolled into another book called Phandelver and Below, The Shattered Obelisk, where the Lost Mine was essentially, not word for word, but essentially the same story for like the first third of that book, and then it spirals wildly out of control from there.
Sure.
So the first one was great. The second one, which was Dragon of Stormwreck Isle. So Dragons was okay. Like, it wasn't bad, right? But it was not as good as the original. And I started to look at it a little bit more critically, and I went, okay, this will help someone fumble through, but I would like to see more guidance. And considering how much better the DMG is compared to the 2014 version,
Mm-hmm.
I have high hopes for this. So that's what I want to see. And hopefully, like, a bit of a fleshed out bestiary and so on and so forth. You shouldn't have to own any of the other books to play a starter set, right?
Yeah, I mean, given that last fact, yeah, I kind of hope that it would be able to lead whoever ends up being the DM, through how to actually run the session. If it's got a couple of notes on how to actually, be a DM, or at least fake your way through it for a little bit.
Well, yeah, the idea was it was pretty good for players.
Yeah.
But when it came down to DMs, it was, how do I put this? Here are the mechanics, but none of the flavor, none of the how to role play, session 0, listening to players, right? How to say yes and like that's the kind of shit I'm hoping we're going to get in the starter set, right?
Okay.
And there was some of that in the new DMG, so I know they're kind of looking in that direction already, so it might be okay.
Cool. What concerns do you have going into this?
Balance. It's always balance. It's a starter set. I'd be surprised if it gets us above level 4. I doubt it, right? And so every once in a while, like in Death House, which is the intro to Curse of Strahd, you're supposed to play it like levels 1 and 2. There's a goddamn shambling mound in it. You fucking die, right?
Yeah.
Like, balance has been a notorious issue in the low-level play in all of the 5th edition stuff. Because there were all these books, even like the campaign settings and whatnot, that would say, oh yeah, we've got a little tester thing, levels 1 to 3, and then you'd sit there and play it and be like, oh, I'm level 3 and I'm fighting a fucking Grick Alpha. And no, I can't. I'm not going to live through this shit, right?
Yeah.
So I would like it to be a little bit more balanced. That's what I'm hoping.
I suppose my concern will be what the player characters will be. If there are any pre-gens, I would like to know if they've gone with any of the more difficult classes or not.
Yeah.
Right? This being a starter set by Wizards of the Coast, I'm kind of interested to see if what they have selected as, those player characters.
Yeah, and I'd like to see, more variety when it comes to the monsters. Like, if it's a goblin camp, I just don't want 2 different kinds of goblins and then a hobgoblin, and that's the monsters. Give me some variety. Like, it's supposed to be testing it out for the first time. And, yeah, I did kind of flip through the story-ish bits, but I didn't really dig into the mechanics or anything of that sort. So, anyway, let's dig into the book. But before we do, it's the box set sitting on the shelf, Sean. Do you want to go grab it?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, it's the
big new colors
and fucking monstrous.
Wow, beefy.
It is super girthy. And my favorite thing about it is I picked it up off the shelf and nearly fucking dropped it because there's some fucking weight to this.
Yeah, it feels like they've actually packed it and giving it the rattle test. There's not much moving around in there.
No, it feels full. Are those cards?
They are. The player the pre-gens are actually just cards. Do you want to take a look at it?
Sure. Let's actually cut this open.
Sure.
Because we still have it sealed. I'm sure this is just riveting audio content.
Well, if you get the mic closer, we can get some ASMR content in there.
I've done that in the past, and everyone tells me to please stop. They have erectile dysfunction for the next 6 to 8 months. So nobody wants to hear that from me, except for that one guy. He's pretty cool.
I got nothing. I'm staying away from this conversation.
That's probably for the best, if I can be honest. I do like the fact there's a big-ass mimic on the side of it, too, and I'm like, hey, that's us.
Hey! What else is on the front of it, though? Do we want to break down what's on the front of it?
Yeah.
All right.
So it looks like we've got a party of, this looks classic sword and sorcery, fantasy stuff. Castle in the background, couple of dragons. But they look like we're dealing with young dragons. They're bigger than wormlings, smaller than adults. And then, I don't recognize these characters specifically, but we've got the wizard archetype, because that's a spell book. That's got to be a fighter or a barbarian. Well, it's got armor, so fighter.
That's a ranger in the background there.
Yeah, and then whatever this guy is, he's holding on to what looks like
an amulet of some sort.
Sure, it's not another spellcaster, right? Probably a warlock or a cleric, or he's wearing armor, so it's probably a warlock or a paladin, right? And then on the side, we've got contents. I didn't even look at this when I bought it. Quick start guide, play guide, 3 adventure booklets. Holy shit.
Oh.
9 double-sided poster maps. Holy shit. 5 handouts, a combat tracker, 8 character class boards. Don't know what that is. 210 cards for characters, items, monsters, NPCs, and spells. 273 tokens for monsters, terrain, and resources. And 11 game dice.
And I saw it was for 75 Canadian kopecs?
Yeah. Yep.
Wild. That's actually a really good value.
That's super good value. 12 plus, it says on it. Heroes of the Borderlands. Let's crack it open. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now that we've kind of talked about the box, and it is a high quality box, it is glossy, the art is good and whatnot. Let's roll initiative, and then we'll just unpack one thing at a time and work our way through it.
Sure.
Well, you're going first with an 11. I got a 3, so here you go.
So removing the top of the box, the very first thing we have is a read me first quick start guide. It details, a quick rules glossary, a quick blurb about unpacking the box, what resources in this box are going to be for everybody and for the dungeon master only. Flipping the page into the quick start guide. It details...
it smells so fucking good.
Right?
It smells like a new D&D box.
It details, playing a character and being the DM and swapping roles.
Oh, I saw this on D&D Beyond. This is where I did my peeking before.
Sure.
Swapping roles is like, you don't have to be the DM for the whole thing. There are 3 adventure booklets. You guys can swap out and try it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll find out, but are the adventure booklets small
I didn't dig.
Okay.
So.
Sure. Getting started, it does have a getting started section if you're a character and if you are the dungeon master. If you're the character, it says choose your class, choose your origin, gather components, place tokens, and name your character. So it sounds pretty close to the new character creation rules even, right?
Yeah, but place tokens makes me think this might be a little board gamey.
Maybe.
Look, I'm not opposed to that to get people used to the idea of a battle map and stuff, so...
Well, looking at the opposite page, we do see a class board. What did they call it? Did they call it the class board?
I think so.
Background cards, spell cards, gem tokens. Yeah, class board. There we go. And this one's actually for the cleric, and it does. I do see it's got tokens for cleric's class features, a couple of tokens for hit points as well, with a hit point maximum.
I'm seeing like it's got chain shirt and mace sitting there on the board, and I'm wondering if these are just like as you put them.
Yeah, they look like item cards, right?
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's keep flipping.
I love that kind of stuff. For the DM, it says flip through the play guide, choose an adventure setting, and gather the components for it. The adventure... Oh, here we go. Here's some details on the adventures.
Just, there are 3 summaries right there. Why don't you read them out?
Yeah, sure. The adventure areas are as follows. The Caves of Chaos tempt adventurers with riches and glory obtainable by any who dare brave these monster-filled caverns. The Keep on the Borderlands... which is...
the name of the original.
Right. Yep. Is a fortified settlement where the party can rest, purchase goods and services, and interact with locals. So...
That's not so much an adventure as just like a setting. They've done this. They did in Candlekeep. They're like, oh, hey, Candlekeep Mysteries. It's an anthology of a whole bunch of different adventures. And here's Candlekeep. It's just the setting. We're just going to launch out of it.
I'm going to read the third one, and I'm going to tell you... I've got an idea. The third one is The Wilderness... who lies beyond the ken of law, friends, foes, and surprises await explorers who traverse these untamed lands. This sounds very much to me like they're trying to hit the 3 pillars. Combat, roleplay, exploration.
Exploration, yeah. Good.
That's awesome. I love that. And then the back page of the book, of the quick start guide, just kind of highlights some of the components that are there. They've got a combat tracker in there, which is going to be awesome. A couple of handouts. Neat.
Cool. All right, so I grabbed the play guide, and it looks like it is... All right, let's get a page count on it first.
Sure.
Everything that we're going to need to know in 31 pages, hopefully.
All right.
So, starts off, the contents in this book. I'm going to hit the contents. I'm just going to give a brief idea of, like, how detailed the layout is and if it's laid out nicely.
Sure.
Right? Because we're not going to go through every fucking page of this. This is a monsters box.
Yeah. No.
We'll be here for 3 hours. So, the component overview. There are breakdowns of what background cards, species cards, equipment cards, spell cards, class boards, magic item cards, NPC cards, and monster cards are. And then that gets you to page 8. So there's 5 pages of that because you start on page 3. And then playing the game, rhythm of play, dice, the 6 abilities, D20 test. This looks like it's lifted right out of the player's handbook.
Yeah.
Combat, damage and healing, conditions, spellcasting, combat and damage example. That's one of the things I really like about the new 2024 stuff is they give you examples instead of just explain to you what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then at the end is a rules glossary for, it looks like 10 pages of rules glossary. I'm going to flip to that and see. Yeah, there we go. That is the rules glossary. It's not going to be as intense as the one that's in the back of the player's handbook, but I bet it gets you through everything you need for this kit, right?
Yeah.
So the overview gives us, really simple breakdowns of like a half page of how a background card works. The card has the card name, card type, what you need to play, description, and power token space. I don't know what a power token is, but we'll get there. Equipment cards, spell cards, class boards, magic item cards, and NPC cards. Monster cards look like they're a little bit bigger, which is cool because they'll have more info on them. This all looks like new art, I think, which is nice. Okay, that's repeat art here that we have on the playing the game section. But I mean, this is going to be lifted right out of the player's handbook. And if you're going to lift it out, you're not going to put new art on it and have to reformat every fucking page of it.
No.
And honestly, having it be consistent from one book to the next makes a certain amount of sense. I think, yeah, I've seen this art before.
Have we spotted anything that is like DM tips or anything like that?
Not yet, although...
The examples you were mentioning at the beginning may have something like that.
We'll get there.
All right.
This is very much the mechanics needed, right? Damage and healing has the subsections hit points, damage rolls, critical hits, saving throws, and damage. Then broken out further to damage against multiple targets and half damage. These aren't tips. This is not the DMG. This is the like playing the game section at the beginning of the player's handbook.
Yeah.
So, combat and damage example. I think this is lifted right out of the PHB as well. Don't quote me on that, but... And then it just takes us to the rules glossary. It's short and sweet. It's not complicated. And I would feel confident putting this in the hands of a 12 to 14-year-old and saying, you can figure this out. Go ahead and play. I will help you through some of the flow, but like, learn the game. Here it is. It's... Look, we've done episodes on the Player's Handbook when it came out and stuff. And so I'm very happy with this. This is what it needs to be, and it's not too much. It's not too granular. It's also not simplistic and dumbed down. It's just what are the pieces that we need to run this? Here you go.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next thing that's in there?
The next one in order is apparently the Wilderness Adventure booklet. It starts the front page is looks like a swamp with a bunch of chameleons and turtles and
lizard folk.
Apparently.
The lizard folk are bullywugs. I'm upside down. I think those are lizard folk. Those are lizard folk. Yeah.
There you go. Popping inside, we've got a great big, a full page map at the very least, showing us the keep on the Borderlands, as well as Tamarick Stand.
Oh, hold on. That's the Caverns of Chaos there.
Okay.
So I wonder if this is if that's just the map for the box set, right? For everything we have in there.
Maybe. Except it does have a great big Wilderness logo directly on it. We'll find out in the next one.
Sure. Yeah.
It's got a getting started section, kind of details the wilderness regions.
How many pages is it?
Oh, let's do that first, I guess, eh? Flipping to the back. It's only 15 pages long.
And that looks like it ends with tables, too.
Yeah, well, with random encounters. So, it details hobgoblin patrols, giant spiders' nests.
I know exactly what this is. I've seen this before in other books. Here, let's start at the beginning.
All right. Starting at the beginning, we've got exploring the wilderness. It goes through region descriptions, a quick blurb on combat and resting, as well as leaving the wilderness. And then we go into region 1, the trail.
Sorry, was it the trail or betrayal?
No, just trail.
Just trail.
Just
okay.
trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
wasn't a place on fire not long ago? Trail, British Columbia, the town. Someone cast fireball. From now on, whenever I cast a fireball, I'm just going to make the flicking a cigarette motion. That's too soon.
That's too soon.
Yeah.
That may be too soon. But yeah, it's apparently just the dirt trail that connects the keep on the Borderlands to the Caves of Chaos and the lands beyond. And it looks like you travel the trail. You're moving in between the two places. So that's probably where I would put it.
If we go back to the map, is trail somewhere on the...
Yeah.
There it is. So it's one of the locations. So I bet that... What do we have? What else do we have? Woods, Tamarack Sand.
The Fens.
Fens. I bet these are also places in this book.
Probably.
These are the wilderness locations we're going to explore. Neat.
Very cool.
I have seen this kind of layout in the past, although this is very easy to use.
Is it? I've never run a module like this.
No, this is easy to learn off of, is what I mean. So what happens is you've got all of your information in the left-hand column on the page.
Yeah.
And then, like, DM tips, little bits and pieces, details on the right-hand column. And they're numbered so that you know what goes with what, right? So
cool. All right.
So, like, you'll see over here, there's an investigation check. It's a DC 13 intelligence. It's got a little 4 beside it. And you jump over to the 4, and it explains what are ability checks.
Okay, just in case you need it.
This layout right here is exactly what's necessary to walk new players through. It was theorized on the Patreon Discord that we have earlier today, actually. I think it was Zan was saying that he heard that this is meant for kids, right? It's a children's version of D&D. And I would counter by saying this is a beginner's version, right? Like
Sure.
we're all pretty long in the tooth at this point. For when it comes to like we've been playing for so long that we forget that we were younger but not kids when we started to play this, right? So,
Yeah.
but this would have been really, really helpful. Could you imagine if 3.5 had had shit like this?
Oh,
we
God.
would have understood it the first 10 months we were playing.
We would have known what we were looking at. I also love that they give a quick little blurb about one of the NPCs that you run into. I'm not going to give any spoilers because why do that?
Sure.
But it details an NPC. It gives you a little gray box to read out to your players. It's fantastic. Moving along, you also have game trail. So assuming you're moving along the trail and there's a banded ambush. The previous page actually mentioned theater of the mind and running the banded
So
ambush.
this is where your DM tips are.
Exactly.
Like right here in the game that you're playing. You'll see we have a little map here with the banded ambush as well. This is something that you're going to get all the way through this book, I think, where you are going to see, oh, that's cool, it tells you what tokens to pull out for it as well. What is that square in the middle?
It says suggested start area.
So this is where your players start from, and like this is all really cool. Like it's teaching you how to play it, but these are not going to be places on the map. The bandit ambush can happen anywhere. It's on trail, so it's like here's the path through it. But like this can happen at any point on this large grid that we have in the world map, right? So, so I have seen that before, and I'm going to tell you now. I know exactly what the rest of this book is. You keep on flipping and tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Sure. All right.
But the rest of this book is going to be based on what I've seen in previous Wizards of the Coast releases and how we've been evolving through 5th edition through to the end of 5th edition. This is going to not have a central storyline. It is going to have encounters, places to go, and things to do when you get there. The storyline will be up to you as a dungeon master. We may get it in one of the other books. When you go to the Fens or whatever it is, this or this or this may happen, but here's why you go, right? That might be somewhere in one of the other books, the motivation. But actually going there, doing the random encounters in the wilderness and whatnot, this is almost a book of not so random encounters. That you would have prepped, okay, I know we're going to, what was one of the other one? The Tamarack stand. I know we're heading there. Okay. I can go away and do my 3 hours of prep off of these 7 pages and I'm good to go, right? Like,
yeah. The other thing, it also suggests that you can actually roll, because in the region, like in region 1, which was the trail, there's 4 encounters. So it actually suggests you can roll a d4 to figure out which ones that.
That's
you
really,
hit,
really
which is
cool.
Fantastic,
Yeah,
right?
that's great for new players.
And same again with the woods. The woods encounters are a hermit's hut, an occult ritual, a sacred spring, and sparring sprites.
Cool.
So, I mean,
Sparring Sprites is one that I had ruined for me on Reddit, where someone said, yeah, there are a handful of sprites they're sparring, but it's not to the death or anything. They're not mad at you. They're not particularly friendly when you show up, but they're like, hey, do you want in? At which point you fight, not to the death, but to the unconscious and who would win, right? So it introduces the concept of non-lethal damage.
yeah.
Right here in the starter set, which is something that a lot of Dungeon Masters didn't know was a thing in 5th edition until, you would get deep enough into a module that you would discover it, right? So,
right. Region 3 is details the Fens. Again, it's got the four encounters. I'm not going to go all the way into them, but they're the flock of sturges.
Yeah. I might have to borrow this.
Lizard folk swamp, spies campsite, and sword ferns. That's kind of cool. And to your point, I might have to borrow this. Oh, there's a 4th region. I'll get there in a second. I would use this just to fill an adventure.
Yeah.
Right? If you need something for travel time. Oh no, I'm gonna grab this. Huh!
Does it say anywhere in this? It might be on the front, like first page, what levels it's geared towards.
Let's see.
Should say up near the top.
It does not.
Interesting. I'm looking at the kind of hobgoblins and spiders and stuff that they're suggesting. This feels very level 1 to 3. So
Yeah. There's a 4th region. It's the Tamarack stand. You go through the flash fire, a giant spider's nest, the hobgoblin patrol, and pine seeds is the name of the encounter. But it does have random tables at the back of it as well. I like this even just outside of the starter set.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. That's kind of neat. All right, so the next booklet is Keep on the Borderlands. It's another adventure booklet. I'm going to check the number of pages. 19 pages for this one.
Yep.
It starts us off with a great big map of the keep itself, with 14 different points of interest on it. And it gives you a quick breakdown and a chart right on page 1. Outer gatehouse, and then like guards, vet entrance, and keep watch at the gate. Page 4. Perfect, that's what I need. At the guild house, merchants and artisans assemble in the guild hall, page 14. Great. That's very easy to use. One of the things that we have said over and over and over again in this podcast has been we want there to be DM direction and an overview of an adventure or story right up front so you know what you're getting into. Because in the early days of 5th edition, you would pick up Tyranny of Dragons and be disappointed that you're dealing with a cult the whole time.
Yeah.
Or you would pick up Out of the Abyss thinking you're going with demons because it's the Abyss and be disappointed that you're in the Underdark the whole time. Right? Like, there are a lot of, like, Dragon Heist. It's not about dragons. Dragons are what they call the gold coins in Waterdeep, and it's about a bank heist, right? Like, it's very, very interesting that it's not just us saying this. So clearly, I don't think they listen to the podcast, but
they should, damn it.
Everyone write a letter to your congressman.
What?
That's probably not right. Doesn't matter. We'll get to it later. Keep on the Borderlands gets to Outer Gatehouse. Again, it's the same kind of breakdown. On the left is the information that you will need in the game. And then on the right is kind of the DM tips. If you're confused when you're reading this the first time, it's very simplistic. It's laid out. You understand what you're supposed to do. That's not to say it's not deep or complex. It's just very easily understandable, right? Mm-hmm. Quest, entry screening. Once a drawbridge is lowered, Bartho and Gala introduce themselves and encourage the characters to lend their services to the keep. Read the following boxed text aloud. So, and then you get your standard, like, narration box that you normally get in these adventures. Before they venture into the Borderlands, the characters can report to the Fortress Area 14 for more information on how they can further the interests of the Castellan and his advisors. Advisors. All of this looks like new art. That was another thing I didn't really say, but, like, I don't like it when they recycle art from book to book. I get it with the player's handbook section, right? But, like, this is all new stuff, and this is all new art, and I'm appreciating quite a bit. We get, I mean, so every page or so is another location within the keep. For example, the trader shop, it gives you what you need to play right at the beginning. The handout, and the handout for the trader. The NPC card for Olira, and then the equipment deck. It gives you a little bit of information and flavor, and then shop features. There's an indoor display, an outdoor display, and a warehouse. Shop services. Like, a lot of this I could lift out and put right in my own games, right?
Yep.
There's an ooze surprise. So there's a quest. There's a dangerous stowaway, and it looks like it's an ooze, right? So there are little things to do in here, but it doesn't look like there's an ongoing overarching plot again, right? So that's really interesting that they've got the quest at the tavern is Chug Champion.
Ooh, a drinking game?
I think it's a drinking contest, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We also learn in this that Briark is a goblin phrase that means we surrender. That's one of the tavern rumors on the table of 4 rumors there.
Okay.
Also, I'm not going to get into it, but it says in brackets whether or not the rumor is true or false at the end of the thing. So,
well, if they've had enough to drink, it will be true.
Yeah, this is really good. Like, and then, yeah, there's all these quests, and I think, did I see that right? At the end of every quest, let me find another one. Priestly duties. There's an impromptu blessing, an occult symbol, and then a reward. There's usually a reward, at the end of each one of these things. So while it is a location, there's shit to do at each place. It's not just downtime. It's going to give a little bit of inspiration about how to use the locations within a city, right? Which is, I want to say, with the exception of Dragon Heist, which I happen to just name drop in an impromptu way, we don't have much fucking urban shit to do in most of the D&D games or the modules in 5th edition. Give me one sec to look at the fucking wall. Ravnica, of course, is urban. Yeah,
sure.
Eberron has Sharn. There's a bunch of shit to do there. Even Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus is mostly a hex crawl outside of it. Right? Tomb of Annihilation starts off in a city, but then you fuck off into the wilderness for most of it. Icewind Dale, you're out in the wilderness again, or you're in the tiny little 10 towns. It's not really urban.
Keys from the Golden Vault's got something in it, doesn't it?
Every single one of them is a heist. It's not urban adventures. It is, every adventure essentially starts off with a call to action to do a heist of some sort. So,
Okay.
so you're in cities. One of them actually is in a remote prison, and it's a prison break heist, but like it's not really urban. Strixhaven is all at a university. Again, it doesn't have an urban necessarily feel to it. Like you're not in back alleys and making deals with thugs and stuff. So yeah, like there's not a whole lot. It's cool that that's been included here.
Yeah.
That like you get to go into a castle. Candlekeep is a castle fortress that's been converted into a library, right? The Radiant Citadel is another one. Like you have this whole city. When you get into what was it? Planescape, you get into Sigil, the city in Sigil. And there's information about that shit, but it's not laid out nicely like this about, hey, there's a quest here, there's a quest there. It's just, here's a paragraph on what you can expect when you go to this district and find this thing, right? So this is a little bit more detailed. It's going to make me think about running urban shit a little bit differently. And instead of just having NPCs waiting around to converse with the players, or like, who can we find there? There will be events at every single place, right? Doesn't take much to think outside the box on that. That's really neat. That's really cool. And it makes me want to investigate Bastions a little bit more.
Right?
Yeah. What do we have next?
Moving on, we've got the Caves of Chaos adventure booklet. It clocks in at about 27 pages, but it starts out... Look, it's got a little dragon guy, a little koboldy guy.
Who else is on there? Is that a couple of armies?
What's that?
I can't tell.
I can't see it upside down.
Yeah, let me take a look.
It's got bats.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome. I'm helping.
Oh, that's two more kobolds. This is just kobolds. But
That's fun.
you'll see the Caves of Chaos have it's like giant cliff faces with a bunch of different like locations set into them. Each one of them is a different themed
Okay.
cave. So I don't know if this is the way that it works out, but I think classically the Caves of Chaos were like, this one's oozes, this one's plants, this one's goblins, this one's, and it's just like, I don't know, man, it's fucking wild.
Sure. Let's dig into it. Let's find out. It looks like A, B, C, D, E, F. Oh, hold on. 5 and 12.
What? No, K is 11, J is 10.
All right. So there are 10. 11.
Don't ask me why I know what number the letters are. I just do.
I mean, you've probably done the substitution cipher enough times to be able to figure that out. Right?
Oh, God, yeah. I
Anyways,
haven't done a cipher in years.
do it.
All right.
Good times. Anyways, it does.
This is going to piss off my players. I'm going to do a cipher now. All right. Let's go.
All right. So they detail 11 different caves, like you suggested. They're all different themes. The kobold lair has a description on it, and again, it tells you the page. A band of kobolds stole a dragon egg, and it hatched.
Cool.
Go to page 4, right? Or a minotaur lair. Here comes the minotaur.
Here comes the minotaur.
Here comes the minotaur.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. On the next page, we've got...
What are all the monsters, though? Let's go through them. Each one of them is a unique monster, it looks like.
Yeah, so we've got a kobold, a mephit, a nothic, a goblin, an ogre, a hobgoblin, shunned cave.
What's in shunned?
A fearsome owlbear lurks in its den. Wonder why it's shunned, though.
Interesting, okay.
Bugbears, minotaurs, gnolls, and the Shrine of Evil Chaos were attacked.
Well, that's going to be cultists.
Yeah.
Right, that's got to be cultists. So, and it's not to say that like there's a mephit or a goblin. It is a goblin lair, a mephit lair, right? So there's going to be multiples of them. Okay, cool.
That's kind of fun. It details getting started. It's got the blurb. It's got character advancement on it.
Rules for rhythm of play and resting as well in combat.
Yep.
Cool. What to do when you leave the caves. Fun.
Perfect. And then it starts to detail each one. Again, it's got that split page layout that we love, where it's got the, on the left side, it gives you the details, and on the right side, it's got the DM callouts, what you need to play, features, box text.
Can you read just the bolded sections in the rhythm of play? Like, what are the titles for the...
Yeah, so the first is describe the scene. Then you've got place tokens. Ask the players, what do you do? Narrate the results. That's it.
Sounds great. Sounds just phenomenal. I'm looking at the map here as well. There are 5 sections in it. Can we flip to another section?
Yeah.
I just want to see if there's 5.
So we've got A1 entrance.
Yeah, it's laid out as you would expect with most of
order.
them. Yeah, most modules are going to be like this, so it's very familiar for players that have played before. Incidentally, I want to say, it may be 4 pages, but half of it is DM tips, right? And so, or like how to play the game in general, and not just a description of it. So it's really 2 pages.
Yeah.
These are very short and sweet, but there's lots of them. And I feel like if these are the 3 adventure books, we've got the wilderness to get to the Caves of Chaos.
Sure.
We've got the Keep of the Borderlands, like what to do when you go back. You can very easily run, probably, depending on how long your sessions are. My sessions are long and we play every 2 to 3 weeks. I bet I could milk this for about 6 months.
I will argue that, well, I was going to argue actually the opposite. If we sat down, we could probably blitz through this entire thing in a day. But
Well, I think
we also have experience, whereas the starter set is meant for people who have no experience.
Well, I was going to say, like, yeah, if you want to start at the keep, go through the trail, up to the woods, to the Caverns of Chaos, do the kobold, and get back again, yeah, 1 day. But there are 11 caves. There are 4 sections, each one with multiple things to do out in the wilderness. And I forget how many, there were 14 sections of the keep itself. I could milk that for 6 months of gameplay if everyone just agrees we're going to be level 3 for this entire fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
So, there's a surprising amount of content in here, but much like 10 Towns was in Icewind Dale, there are options. I feel like you're supposed to pick 1 or 2, and then you're done. But this, unlike the other starter sets, which were a linear adventure, this is sandbox play. Mm-hmm. And I, as a Dungeon Master, can come up with, at this point, any reason to go anywhere. Drop an NPC in that says, hey, I'm so sick of that ogre, it killed my uncle, can you do something about it? Yeah. Or, hey, my cousin's best friend went missing down in the fens, can you go find them? Yeah. I can just drop quests left and right. Go find this person at the tavern and talk to them. And I could get a lot out of it. Like, this is a great setting.
Yeah.
Not at all what I was expecting. I was very much expecting a linear story.
But this is definitely giving a lot more options. But, I mean, okay, so we started with... Hold on, where did we start? We started with the kobolds. We went on to the Mephit layer. Again, we've got...
There are 8 sections now.
8 different sections, but only like a page, 2 pages.
Yeah, all the sections are very, very short. But,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to get with Mephits? Like, it's not going to be a whole lot.
Right?
What is that? Looks like 7 for the Nothics.
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 The goblins have 5.
This feels like, if anybody that follows Matt Colville and understand what the Delian Tomb is, he sat down and on video one day, just in less than an hour, built a one-shot adventure. And the idea of the Delian Tomb was that there's going to be some exploration, a little bit of role-playing, 2 combats, a little secret area. And, like, he just said, these are 5, essentially, encounters that you're going to run. And when you're all done, you have solved the tomb, it's time to leave.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, just use this method every time that you need to make a one-shot. I have used his method, right? Of, we start off showing up. I'm not worried about how we got there. You're standing outside the door, right? And you could very much do every one of these caves or caverns could be a one-shot that you run with inexperienced players to give them a little bit of flavor without having to just steep them in fucking lore.
Yeah.
Or be like, all right, you're a barbarian. And what that means is your tribe is, like, you don't have to get into that shit. Just be like, let's go kill some goblins, right? And get it done.
Love it.
It looks like it's all the same over and over.
It's all the same over and over again with variations. I mean, the ogre layer is only three sections with a secret cave.
Yeah, but I mean, that ogre fight's going to be knocked down, drag out at this level. Too, right?
Absolutely. Same with the hobgoblins.
Is there a bestiary at the back of this? Because
let's flip to the back, yeah.
Or I wonder if we're just relying on monster cards. I bet we are. Why would they bother to print it twice?
Yeah.
So, okay.
And yeah, the full 27 pages is just the individual shrines and layers. Right. So.
Okay, next up we've got... Oh, I grabbed a bunch of pages. Noble adventurers, I extend to you my deepest thanks. Your gallant efforts have... Okay, these are handouts. These are handouts. Okay, so we've got... The first one is a letter to them. The second one is a provision for sale. There's musical instruments, ball bearings. So it's what you can find at a little store. The Drunken Dragon menu. I think a slice of cake has been crossed out. Everything is 1 gold piece, except for 2 things, which are 2 gold pieces. Very good stew is 1 gold piece. Very good stew is 2.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's really flavorful. I like that. Sacred Services. You want a flask of holy water? 25 gold. Healing, 50 gold. Revival, 200 gold.
Sorry, 2,000.
Did I say 200? Yes, 2,000, yeah. May all who act with kindness and virtue always stand upright. May neither claw nor steel nor darkness hurt you. Be shielded by the light. Very cool. And then more a trader as well. So there are some handouts you can flop down in front of your players and be like, hey, look at this. Read this, dummy. Holy shit. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
This is why we're placing tokens, because there are maps.
Yes,
Look at
they
the
have
maps.
included maps.
Holy shit.
I don't want to bust all of these open, but we've got Cave A, Cave F.
I would like to see just one of them
Sure.
to be like, holy
I think you've got more than
yeah,
one
that's
cave
more
A.
than one. That's Cave A, and then Cave B is on the
On the
back.
other side, there you go.
And it is, holy shit. This will take up a kitchen table. This is
So it's
an intense amount of...
8 pages folded.
It's 8 folded pages. That's really cool. 1 square equals 5 feet. And this is fairly large. Those are 1 inch by 1 inch.
Yep.
Yeah, give or take.
Maybe a little bit larger, but not by much.
No, I'm looking at my 1 inch by 1 inch grid paper that I do my own maps on. They're a little bit smaller. But it's detailed, it's flavorful. Both sides of this are great, but they match the maps that are inside the book, right?
Yeah.
Except they don't have the monsters that are labeled and like, oh, this is where the ogre is, right? So
Yeah. And it also details the keep. They've got details for, looks like the fens itself.
Case of
There's a whole
Chaos
bunch.
in general is on that one as well.
Yeah.
So like, wow, there's a lot of info in this. This is amazing.
Yeah. They did a lot of work.
What a great fucking value.
And then we go right into those character cards. Those, class cards.
Class cards. Oh shit. There's so much going on here. All right. So,
Here,
so these are pre-generated, but you know what's not here is a name. You can make it your own name and you can choose your own background and species to put on it. This is just the class card. Level 1 cleric, level 2 cleric, level 3 cleric, level 3 cleric. Are there 2 level 3 clerics? There are. Subclass life domain, subclass light domain, because you're level 3.
There you go.
Very cool. So every one of the classes has 2 pages. Level 1, level 2, right? You flip it to level 2 when you level up, and then you choose your subclass. We have cleric, fighter, rogue, wizard. Is that it? Yeah,
That's it.
Those are your 4. I mean, that's what you need to learn, right?
Yep.
Pretty balanced party too, if you ask me, but nobody did, so I'll shut up. Let's see, hold on, what's on it? It's very clearly laid out. It doesn't look anything like your... Well, it's not entirely true. I was going to say it doesn't look anything like a character sheet, but it's landscape, it's not portrait, right? So, But it's all listed out. Melee attack rolls for the cleric at level 1 are a d20 plus 4. It is very, very clear about it. They even have like a d20 symbol.
Oh,
Plus
perfect.
4, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to be confused and fucked up and grab is that a d8, right? So spell save DC is laid out, spell attack rolls are laid out. After a short rest, regain 4 hit point tokens. All right, I guess we're doing that in this, but like keep it a little more survivable. Speaking of tokens, what do we got?
We've got gold piece tokens, and they're like full-on sheets of die-cut like poster board.
Glossy too. They're
Glossy,
really
high
nice.
quality.
Yep.
We also have monster tokens. They all seem to be medium-sized. Oh, I lied.
Some of them are large.
Some of them are large.
Good art as well. Hold on, let me take a look at this.
Yeah. Is the same art on the back of them?
I
Looks like
think,
mostly.
Yeah, I think, and you have 4 versions of, let's say, what is that, a knoll. But they're listed A, B, C, D, so you yourself can keep track of it as a DM.
Perfect.
Do we have actual player tokens, though?
We do. Player tokens
Oh,
with stands.
And there's stands here, so to help them stand up. The monsters lay down flat, they're circular,
Yeah.
right? And I'm assuming that that's based on the different species that are available.
Yep.
That's cool. It's a big cutout for web. Looks like it's
And a cart.
yeah, that's really cool.
Is the pit? Yeah. Okay. So I would have loved to have been able to see if this pit was actually filled in on the other side, so you can use it as a trap.
Except that the players will be like, what's that token for?
Yeah.
Right? So you drop it down after they fall into it.
But it also goes into like they've got power tokens, which I'm assuming are things like class abilities.
Sure.
And hit point tokens for 1 hit point and 5 hit point. The 5 hit point ones are larger, and that's what they're using to track, so you don't have to write anything on the class cards.
Because they were so glossy and high.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, they thought that through. I like it. What's at the bottom there?
Gem tokens.
All right. I'm assuming these are things that we're going to need that like laid out in the...
MacGuffins for each thing. right?
Sure, yeah.
Back to you.
All right. And then, okay, now we're into the box. All right. So 11 dice. What are they? Is it a regular 7 plus more d6s?
Looks like it.
Do we get the full 7?
4. Yeah, 11 dice.
Okay. There is a d10 and a percentile.
Yes.
Because there were 6 dice in the other starter sets.
Really?
Because you don't need a percentile. So they didn't give you one. They only gave you like the d4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20.
I am a little bit disappointed that it's just... They've left text on the plastic bag that is just like black and there.
Made in China?
I've got no problem with it being made in China. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's just like black text, non-ceremonious.
Look, if it had been in a velvet bag, it would have been an extra $3, and I'm glad, like, at $70 Canadian.
Sure, sure.
Speaking of bags, you'll notice that they give you a fuck ton of additional, like, Ziploc bags, and this will be to deal with your tokens.
Yeah.
As well as these, like, little convenient, organized slots as well. And looks like we have 2 decks of cards, but this will be all the cards, I bet, right?
Sure.
This one is clearing NPC, and on the back is Thieves' Tools.
Yeah, I can see we've got Toll the Dead sitting here as a cantrip.
Yeah.
Does that match the actual spell?
Yeah, they will. Like, that's... I would hazard to say abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
So, okay, cool. And then I don't feel the need to crack them all open, but they look like they all have art. They look like they're recognizable art, and they will have details on the back of them.
Sure.
Right? Then we get, the combat tracker? What am I looking at here? The combat tracker, just a great big piece of fucking cardboard. The combat tracker, it's an initiative tracker.
Oh, cool.
And you'll see it's got initiative down the left column, then room for you to write the name of the combatant, then hit points, and then condition effects they might have.
Interesting.
And then at the top, it has death saves, successes, and failures for cleric, fighter, rogue, and wizard. I may just fucking copy this style and print out a bunch of shit to use myself. That's very fucking useful for initiative. Yeah, that's really cool.
It's nice and condensed, easy to read. I love it.
And then what's that? Are those the monster cards?
The monster cards, and it looks like...
They're double size cards.
Double-size cards. Details a zombie.
Sure. What's the other side?
On your turn, combat. So I guess helper cards for player characters.
Oh,
for players.
Neat. Okay, I'm actually going to open this one because I want to make sure that we actually get to see some cards.
Sure.
If we're going to give a review on this.
Yeah. We need to see the quality of them anyways, right?
Exactly. So, all right. On your turn, there are 4 on your turn cards.
Yep.
Right? And then it looks like in alphabetical order with full art from the monster manual, it looks like. With the exception of a couple of specific NPCs like Ivlis and Jacko. Right? But Kobold Warrior, the Kuatoas, I think some of this is unique. Some of them isn't, for sure. Some of these I've seen before, but I think a lot of them are unique.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is neat. And I'm wondering now if I just saw some of these. Like, the reason I say I've seen some of these because the Acolyte background, that's right out of the player's hand.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But I think the monsters themselves, this might be unique art for every one of them. I don't know the new monster manual well enough yet to be able to comment on that. But fuck, we can look it up. Kobold Warrior I know exists. Let me grab the monster manual.
Yeah, that's not the... I don't think that's the art for the Kobold Warrior now that I'm looking at it.
I think you're correct, but I don't want to be wrong on the internet. Again. K comes after J, and as we learned, it's the 11th. Yeah, that's brand new art. That is brand new art. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Is it AI generated? Let's test our eyes.
Almost certainly fucking not. They got burned so badly that...
They do have attribution for the artist as well, directly on the card.
Fucking great. Yes, they do.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right, so let's roll initiative. I got some questions.
All right.
17. Bumped me to a 10, but you bounced out. Reroll.
All right. Hit. 6! And you're at a 10.
All right, well, I guess I'm talking to myself.
And sometimes it's the only intelligent conversation you get.
You're not wrong. So, overall impressions of the content. They gave you a starter set that has... Okay, so there are 2 kinds of content here. There's the physical product itself, and then there's the actual, story content, right, that we're dealing with. So, the actual product that they provided looks fun and interesting and neat and engaging for people to have a touchstone to use the first time they play Dungeons and Dragons. I fucking really like it. I'm not a big fan of tokens on the board. I'd rather use minis. But these are high quality tokens. I'm sitting there going, if I could use that web, I could use that trap, right? Like, I really do appreciate it. The cards are neat as well. They're printed cards. I wonder if they're going to print fucking spell cards and shit, if Wizards of the Coast is going to. Because I know that shit printed money in 5th edition, but it was a third party that was doing it, right? So,
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to, instead of licensing it out, if they're going to do it, like, in-house, right? So I'd be curious to know. The layout of this is clean. It's nice. It's easy to use. And the content itself, I was not expecting a sandbox. They railroad you pretty hard in every other starter adventure I've ever seen anywhere, right? You and I sat down and dug through the Alien RPG starter set.
Yeah.
That is a fucking sandbox where there are a handful of events that hit. And it was dense. It, like, as easy as it was for me to understand the rules of the game, prepping that adventure took days of getting into the granular nitty-gritty bits and pieces. This, however, is a sandbox. Instead of just like, here are all these random rooms you can go in for a massive dungeon crawl, you do you. It was, here's this little thing over here, or there's this little thing over here, or there's this, and it was almost like they provided you a list. Even the Caves of Chaos. It's just a book with really detailed list of 11 places to go, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, and all of them are like that, right? The Wilderness is like that. The Keep of the Borderlands is like that. It's really fucking easy to use. It's really fucking easy to use. My impression on this is that this is, first of all, a phenomenal gift to give to someone just getting into D&D.
Yeah.
Because it's got some heft, it's got some weight, it's got some prestige to it. You're going to get cool cards to play with. You get the big set of dice, right? And like, this feels good. Right? It's not quite a board game, but you look at those maps and you see the tokens. It'll bridge the gap between board games that kids have grown up playing and a tabletop role-playing game pretty nicely.
Yeah. I was expecting there to be a book with maybe not even printed maps. It was just going to be as cheap as they could make it to get people into it, right? Here's your foot in the door into the hobby. Go. But what you get for $75 is actually an amazing deal, and I'll say it's not even just an amazing deal for newbies. I'd buy this as a not newbie.
Yeah, there's some really good shit in here. Like,
Yeah.
It's early enough in the edition too that I will bust these monster cards and the NPC cards out and be like, I might keep these for me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's some cool shit. Or hey, you don't remember what your background does because we just rolled up characters. Here's a background card.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know if we get all 14 or whatever backgrounds here. Probably not. But like, it's interesting to see.
At the very least,
Having spell cards is wild.
spell cards is amazing, but at the very least, being able to have those as notes, even for yourself, as a DM trying to get used to all of that shit. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So my next question is, how do we feel about the art? The art in this is the art that I was kind of expecting to get as far as quality goes. It feels very new edition, like it's what the art style is that we've seen so far. We got the only other, and it's not even a full adventure yet. We don't have a full adventure yet, right? We have this sandbox, and then we've got the anthology Dragon Delves, right? And that one was kind of like all over the place with art, which is not to say all over the place in quality, but all over the place in style. This all feels like the same style that you get in the Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, and the Dungeon Master's Guide. This feels like when you graduate from this to the core rule books, visually it is cohesive, and that feels good.
The other advantage of the graduation step is because they haven't dumbed down any of the steps, because they haven't dumbed down any of the core mechanics, that transition is not only easy, but it's fairly seamless as well. This is a great way to get up and running with the rules.
Yeah. So the next one is, what grade do you give it? Well, shit. I was honestly expecting that this was going to be an adventure that was better than Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, but not as good as my Lost Mine of Phandelver. What I have instead is something incredibly fucking different, right? It's neither. It's hard to compare against the other ones as far as a storyline goes, because there is no storyline. quests, it's plot hooks, it's adventures that you can go out and do, but they're all very simplistic.
Yeah.
They're not complicated. You're not getting betrayed partway through by the blacksmith who did the whatever, right? There's no, oh, we meant to go here to find the kidnapped princess, and it turns out that instead there's actually an owl bear with a quest to do. There's none of that fucking shit, right? It's supposed to be straight high adventure through and through. And I'm all fucking for that. So, like, I have not seen Wizards of the Coast provide a product exactly like this before. It's all been story driven. This isn't. This is setting driven.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed with it. Like, if I remove myself from the actual, like, presentation, because the box is impressive. I'm a little wowed by the box right now. If I remove myself from the presentation of it, this is entirely usable at low levels. People could have a lot of fun with this. It's a great entrance in, and it does what it says on the box. It's the starter set. This will get you fucking started, no problem.
Yep.
And without a whole lot of fanfare or questions or anything else. So
Letter grade?
yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm waffling on, right? I've talked myself down from an A+, but like not too much fucking lower, right? Not like I was a little wowed by the fucking presentation here, but I'm gonna call it an A- for sure. I think that The Lost Mine of Phandelver is probably still a superior story and a superior experience, but this is fucking playable over and over and over for new players, and you can swap out to have your 5 players, a DM and the four players, right? Each one could take a turn at any part in this. And okay, we did Kobold Caves before. Well, I want to go do the Goblin Lair, and then so-and-so wants to go do the Evil Cultist, and then, yeah, and we could all take turns, and we can learn this together. That feels really fucking good. So yeah, A-, yeah.
I'll give it an A. And historically, I think this is the first A I've actually given on a Legends Lore podcast.
Potentially. I can tell you in a minute. Because, Adam keeps track.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
You've got a spreadsheet for fucking everything.
Yeah.
My only complaint is that without a lot of DM tips, if your players try to be chaos goblins,
you gave an A to Spire.
Did I?
Yeah.
That was like the first one.
That was the first one we did. Yeah. So anyway, what were you saying?
If you have a table full of chaos goblins, all of a sudden throw a wrench in it. There's not too. Because they had to slim down the rules that they could present you, you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants as to what to do. Which isn't necessarily untrue to the standard DM experience.
I was going to say, that's pretty much every fucking, like, not just game system, but specific table I've ever sat at, right? Like, the DM does have to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But there were tips all the way through those books too on
absolutely
kind of what the goal is and how to get there.
But a lot of the tips were the same tips that were in the other books as well.
Right.
Because they left it open, then you could approach any one of the quote unquote modules, right? They had to rehash a lot of the same information.
But this isn't a rehash, right? I think what you're seeing here is you have to look at it from Wizards' perspective.
Sure.
This is not for people that own the core rulebook.
No.
This is the first one's free, buddy.
Yeah.
Right? And so having them, I mean, it's $75, it's not free, but like having them say, also, sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself for the third time.
Back to the tangent.
Back to the tangent. The idea, $75, I mean, Canadian, so it's going to be cheaper than that for Americans, right? So
yep.
The idea that everybody pitch in $15 and we've got a summer's worth of gameplay here, that's fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
Whereas before, the starter set was bought by the DM for like $35. Those are the other ones, and it doesn't come with all this cool cards and all the other shit, right? Like, but I forget what I was saying. I forget what the original tangent was, but
I only gave it an A because it felt as if it was repeating itself through the multiple books.
Yeah, but I don't think it's not repeating itself. What it's doing is it's giving you the bare necessities for you to be able to play this game as a complete product in and of itself, where you don't need to own the core rule books.
That's right.
When you then get the core rule books, you'll be able to open them up and say, oh, I already know what's on these 20 pages. But look, there's another 380 pages, right? So,
and I will argue that you will be better equipped for having played the starter set than going into the
core rules blind.
Blind,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you. As a matter of fact, I would love to get some people together to just kind of bang out about 4 of these little adventures, right?
Yeah.
Do 4 consecutive. See, you did that with the Dungeon Master's Guide. Is you grabbed one of the little adventure hooks that was in it, and then you ran a table full of 2 really new players and me, right, to run through it and see, okay, how does this work? How does it feel? Like, how does a new edition work, right? How does it feel? And then you were getting back into DMing after a little hiatus and stuff with a brand new edition, and it felt good. I bet this would have felt even better because of the cards and the tokens and the maps and the, right?
There would have been a lot less, and I mean, shout out to my boys, they're my boys, whatever. There would have been a lot less fapping about.
And I will be completely honest, a lot of that fapping about was me. Like,
sure.
Yeah, that was me saying, stop trying to do it the right way. Just do a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Anything you do is fine.
Yeah.
Strong choice is better than no choice, right? So,
final question. When do you buy it?
If you already own the core rulebooks and you're not going to be playing with new players anytime soon, there is still value in this because you're going to get some cards out of it. You're going to get, the dice are the low quality bullshit dice this is not Chessex. This is the garbage. When you buy a bag of 400 dice off of Temu, these are the dice that come in it, right? Yeah. Like, they're the lowest quality part of this thing, but it's still a set of dice, right?
We are lucky that they are all the same color.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that the lettering or the numbering hasn't been like chipped off, so you can't tell if it's a 1 or a 7.
It's all the same font.
Yeah, right. So, I bought Call of Cthulhu dice for people way back when, and they were all just covered in like tentacles and gears and shit, and like you could not read those fuckers. You'd roll and spend 3 minutes going, is that an 8 or double zeros? Like, I can't tell what I'm looking at here. It's fucking wild. Anyway, so when do you buy this? For the people that have played this for years, there's still a little bit of value, but it's not worth the $75, in my opinion. For people that are newish, new to the edition, buy this first. This might be the purchase to buy before the player's handbook. But, I mean, everyone on the podcast went, new edition, I guess I'll buy a player's handbook, right? Because we're already D&D nerds. So, anybody that's under the age of, like, 22 and wants to get into D&D, this is a great place to start.
I'll say even if you want to get into tabletop RPGs in general, D&D being one of the more accessible systems, this is the most accessible version of it. I would say that you would even buy this to start somebody else's library.
Oh, absolutely. This should be the Christmas gift that is given, the D&D Christmas gift this year.
Yep.
I'm very comfortable saying that. And I don't know why anyone would ever play D&D, like would start a collection without getting a player's handbook first. You don't need the DMG, you don't need the monster manual if you're just a player, just get a player's handbook. But if you want to consider the idea of being a dungeon master, the starter set is the way to go as well. It makes it very, very streamlined. What I wanted at the beginning was guide me, and it fucking did.
Can I argue something for a second?
Well, of course.
It didn't.
What are you talking about?
It gave you the world. It gave you a sandbox. You said guide me, and what it gave you was fucking no, guide yourself. Here's the tools.
Yeah, but then the left half or the right half of every page was, and here's the tools, and this is how you use it. This is how it goes. This is when you're going to use it. This is why you want to use it. Here are the basic mechanics that you might want to think about using these. Hey, we're on page 18 of this, probably page 8. They're small books, but like we're on page 8. And we're bringing up the idea of ability checks again. So here's a refresher on ability checks again, right?
So it's guiding you through the mechanics. You didn't necessarily want to be guided through the story.
I wanted my novice DM to not have to pick up a book and flip for 3 minutes.
Sure.
Because that was my experience with 3.5.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 3 minutes, it was 33 minutes. And,
yeah.
then it was an argument, right? So this is not going to do that. It is very clear right there. This is the most DM-friendly starter set I have seen.
Yep. And I'll also say that I would buy this today for myself now.
Oh, it's so fucking pretty. Right, it's also just fucking pretty.
I'd use the modules.
And I'd use the maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyway, that's all for this episode on the starter set, Heroes of the Borderlands. If you've been inspired by any conversations in this episode, you can reach us through our subreddit, r/itsAmimic, our Facebook group, our Threads account, or on our Instagram.
If you'd like to support us, you can check the show notes below for links to our Patreon, as well as our website where you can donate or check out our store. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and leave positive reviews. Every little bit helps.
That's all for this Legend Lore episode of the It's a Mimic podcast. This episode and others can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and most other podcast apps. Please take a second to engage with a like, follow, subscribe, comment, or review to help push our engagement. Thanks for listening to It's a Mimic, where you never know what you're gonna get.
If you'd like to support us, we have a store with some merch and a donate button on our website, itsamimic.com. You can also head to itsamimic.com to find a comprehensive episode guide and more information about the show. We do have a Patreon, which not only offers access to our exclusive Discord server, but also hosts over 100 episodes, including a variety of bonus episodes covering topics like 5th edition book reviews and the campaign builder, spells and gods, fae, homebrew inspiration, and even the Blood War. If you'd like to submit any mailbag questions, please reach out to us through any of the social media links in the show notes of this episode, or send us an email at info@itsamimic.com. This has been an episode of It's a Mimic, where you never know what you're going to get.